Welcome, everybody. Imagine a world where aging is optional. Welcome, Naveen Jain. How you doing?
I'm doing absolutely amazing.
Wow, I'll tell you what, man. I've heard about you for years, and you are one of these guys with a big, big moonshot. In fact, that's one of your first books, and you're on this new crusade to make aging optional. Talk about the youth formula.
Well, I'm not quite sure the crusade is the right word in some sense.
I know, I know. As soon as I said that, let's put it. I don't know, passion. I don't know. What do you got?
Good. Obsession. Your passion is for hobbies. The obsession is what people have, and they really want to move the humanity forward. You have to have a true obsession, not obsession for a person, not obsession for things, but obsession to solve problems, right? So when you wake up in the morning every day, what is it that you want to do with your life that's going to actually change the trajectory of how to move the humanity forward, right?
Oh, I love that.
So this decade, my obsession really is about changing the healthcare, because our healthcare system, Kary, everyone in our healthcare system makes money when people are sick, and no
Ooh.
one makes money when people are healthy. And it is somehow so backward that human beings, we as a patient, the last thing we want to do is to be sick. But everyone in a healthcare system wants us to be sick because that's the only way they make money. And it's not that they are bad people, it is the incentives are not aligned. So imagine, if you are not sick, your doctor makes no money, the hospital makes no money, the pharmacy makes no money, the hospital makes no money. The insurance companies don't like you to be healthy because they have to pay 85% of premium back to the pool. So if you're healthy, they have to reduce the premium. They hate that, right? So they want you to
Wow.
stay sick so they can charge more. So to me, unfortunately, this did not come in a pleasant way.
Mm,
It happened 7 years ago when I saw my dad was diagnosed with a pancreatic cancer,
mm.
stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Unfortunately, he was given 3 months to live, and that's all he got. But it
Wow.
really got me thinking that we live in this 21st century. I'm building a company to land on the moon and mine the moon for helium 3 so we can change the way the fusion resources are going to be published.
Mm.
uh, you know, and here we can't even find the cancer early. We can't even understand why people are developing. More and more people have diabetes, why more and more people have obesity, heart disease, cancer, depression, and anxiety that is just constantly becoming a pandemic, or at least a big problem for the society. And what I realized during COVID was that, in fact, people don't want to be sick. People want to take control of their own health, but they just don't have the resources to understand what should they do. And unfortunately, Kary, everyone in the wellness industry is trying to make money from giving them this one advice. If you just did this, if you just bought my thing, whatever that thing is, you can stay healthy forever.
Mm, mm.
And that was the biggest problem I saw, was that we realized that there is no such thing as universal healthy food. There is no such thing as universal healthy supplement.
Yes.
There is no such thing as universal healthy diet. And and people are pushing these things. The gluten is your enemy, the lactans are your enemy. All you do is buy my supplement and everything is solved. And it turns out that we as humans, it's not that what makes us unique is our genes or our DNA. That's not what makes us unique. Our DNA or genes never change from the time we are born, even after we die.
Mm.
So in fact, 100 years after we die, we still have the same genes. Think about that for a second.
Wow.
DNA can't even tell you you're dead or alive, let alone you're healthier or sicker. And that's fundamentally the problem I was trying to solve when I wrote the book Youth Formula.
I love it. Listen, we got a great crowd here already. We're international. You have friends from all over the world. I know this gentleman has interviewed you. You have Dubai. You have someone. I love this quote: "Passion is for losers. Obsession is for entrepreneurs." Do you, you like that?
Yes, I mean, obviously, what I mean by that is the entrepreneurs have really obsession because they really obsess about solving a problem.
Mm,
Um, I have a passion for collecting space rocks. That's for hobbies. That's not something I wake up and jump out of the bed and say, God, I'm going to go find another moon today.
Right.
But I
Right.
do wake up every morning and say, how am I going to live people, get people to live healthier?
So good. So I get the whole why. The why was that you had this, what did you say was your father?
Yes, unfortunately, it was my father that I lost.
Wow, wow. So it woke you up. I've heard from statistics that you are in your 60s, but your biological age is your 30s.
Well, that is in fact true, Kary. I'm 60, turned 65, say, give or take about 17 or 18 days ago. September 6th was my birthday, so I turned 60.
Congrats.
And my biological age is now 33. So imagine that, it's not just me. If it doesn't matter, the chronological age that we talk about, our age, is simply about how many times the earth has gone around the sun. That's it. I mean, that's
Okay.
all the chronological age is. How many times earth has gone around the sun? And people define that somehow should be how you should be judged. When you are 40, you're going to start having the obesity, you're going to start
Yes.
gaining weight. You
Yes.
turn 60, you're going to have the heart disease, you're going to have a blood pressure, you're going to have all these diseases as you age. And people relate these chronic diseases with age. And I wanted to change that your biological age is what matters. How are you treating your body, that and how do you feel today? So you can hear it in my voice, you can hear it every time when I go up the stairs. Most people take even their 20s one stair at a time. I go two stairs at a time because that's what I can do today.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, listen, also, I want to encourage everybody, if you've never been to a book launch, there's a couple things that we're going to be sharing. Number one, the book is doing incredibly well. Already, it's a Barnes& and Noble bestseller. It's an Amazon bestseller. And already, many, many people have endorsed it, reviewed it. People like Vishen and Paris and Deepak and Dave and George Church, who's at Harvard, and Peter Diamandis and Tony Robbins. The book is literally changing lives. And by the way, not everybody's giving it a 5-star. I'll tell you why. There's some people who are saying this is too hard to be. This is crazy. In fact, they're disagreeing because they think like losers. And I know that's really bold to say that, but why is it? Naveen, that losers think about, well, this is just my genetics and I'm cursed and I don't have any control and nothing I do can change my age. Why is that loser thinking?
First of all, I wouldn't call them a loser thinking. I would just call them that their mindset has not been opened up yet. I mean,
So you're kinder. You're kind. Okay.
no, my point, humans are never losers. They are simply the product of the opportunities and the people who they surround themselves with.
That's good. I like that.
So
So
people have never had an opportunity to know that the things are in your control. And, sometimes we are told that it's not our fault. It is someone else's fault. And the
yes.
best way to do that is to blame on your ancestors. It's easiest thing to do is to blame your ancestors for everything that happens. And in fact, there are, these genetics, or we call our genes, that we get from our mom and dad. There are certain diseases which are, of course, genetic diseases. And there is a name for that. We call them rare genetic diseases. And they are called rare genetic diseases because they are rare, right? In fact, for everything else, so I mean, for example, if you have a certain genetic defect, you're going to get sickle cell anemia. You're born with that. The day you're born, you have that disease, right? Everything else, when I talk about these lifestyle diseases, whether it is depression or anxiety, whether it is a cancer or Alzheimer or Parkinson's, whether it is you're looking at skin aging or you're looking at the gut issues, digestive issues, so IBS, diabetes, obesity, the heart disease, none of these diseases are genetic diseases. There is less than 10% of the component that is your genetics. 90% of all of that stuff I mentioned to you, all these diseases, is simply about lifestyle. That
Wow.
means every time you want to blame someone, blame yourself for actually. So it's not a matter of bad luck. When you develop a disease, people say, oh, it's just a bad luck. I'm sorry. It's the bad choices that you make every day that causes us to develop these diseases. Now,
That's deep. That is deep. So listen, folks, we're going to be giving away a really, really cool grand prize. And this is how you get the grand prize, by the way. First of all, everyone's going to get a bonus. We'll mention that in a moment. But you have this thing called a Viome, obviously Viome. And Viome, you have this special test that is $399 value. And it's the intelligence one. Can you tell us about that? Because the intelligence test right over here, we're going to show that it's $399. We're giving one away. And here's how you are entered to win. No purchase necessary. All you need to do is you need to basically post a comment below where you're from and share the live stream. Why? Because we know that Naveen is obsessed with changing lives. And by the way, if you're watching this, this is going out in many, many, many channels. You might be watching at a channel that says 50 people. You might be watching at a channel that says 5 or 500. This thing's going out on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Facebook. So this is going out worldwide. We already have some people posting Columbus, Ohio. Love it. We have Dubai. So we're international. If you want to get entered to win, you need to post below where you're from and then just say shared. And let's talk about this. What is this test? What is this test that they might win?
Yeah. So, Kary, I started this Viome 7 years ago to actually understand, why do people get sick? What changes in the human body that causes people to have diabetes or obesity or heart disease? And to do that, it was really hard problem to solve, because everyone was focused on looking at your DNA, your genes. Remember the 23andMe's of the world? Everybody wants to look at your DNA. Well, as I mentioned earlier, your DNA and your genes are not your destiny. Your DNA doesn't change when you become obese. Your DNA doesn't change when you become depressed, right? And we realize what is constantly changing is your gene expression or your RNA. And there was no way to measure that. It took me years to find the technology at Los Alamos National Lab, where they were working on a biodefense project. It took them 10 years and untold sum of money for them to actually build a technology to protect our great country from bioterrorism. So imagine the problem they were trying to solve. They were trying to solve a problem. If there was a terror in our great country, how would we know what happened? They needed to know what these organisms are producing, how it interacts with the human body, what is it doing, so they can create antidote for it. So they developed an RNA technology to understand your microbe, the organism that live. By the way, 99% of all the genes that are expressed in our body that don't come from our mom and dad. They come from these microbes in your gut, in your mouth, all over us. These 100 trillion microbes that are inside the body or on our body. Now, here's the interesting one. You may have heard about gut microbiome, you may have heard about the oral microbiome. So, Kary, the problem is every single microbiome company other than Viome is simply making the same mistake that DNA companies made, which is they tell you what organisms are in your gut. They tell you what organisms are in your mouth. The problem with that approach is it's not the organism, it is what they produce or what they express and how it interacts with our immune system. That is the key. So what we changed in the human side, which is understanding human gene expression, we did the same thing for gut microbiome and the oral microbiome. We don't care as much about what organisms are there. We care about what are they producing, what are they doing that is changing our human body, our human gene expression, our immune system. So we are the only company in the world that looks at the expression of the microbes and its interaction with the human immune system, looking at your mitochondria, looking at your microbial activity in your mouth, in your gut. Then we tell you your biological age. We tell you your cognitive health, your heart health, your gut health, your oral health. And you can go as nerdy as you want, your ammonia production, your LPS production, your sulfide production. But more importantly, then we tell you, hey, Kary, don't eat avocado right now because your uric acid production is too high, it's going to turn into a gout. And by the way, you, Jane, should not be eating spinach and almonds because your oxalates are not being metabolized right now. Not forever. Right now, you should lay off the spinach and almonds. And by the way, don't eat broccoli, even though everyone thinks broccoli is healthy. It's actually harming you because your sulfides are not being, you're producing too much sulfide, and these foods contain a
Wow.
lot of sulfate. And then we're not like focused on plant food. We say, look, hey, if you want to eat red meat, you can eat red meat because your choline in the red meat is not being converted into TMA, trimethylamine, by your gut microbiome. And the trimethylamine that's being absorbed in your blood, the liver enzyme called FMO3 is not expressed high enough to convert into TMAO, which is trimethylamine oxide, which causes the plaque in the heart. So we can say, hey, you can eat red meat. It's not going to cause you heart disease because your TMA is low and you don't have the enzyme FMO3, which is also, by the way, changed or influenced by your oral microbiome called P. gingivilis when it expresses ginger pain.
So I want people to catch this because you're kind of blowing people's minds. You're saying that there is no universal healthy food because there is no universal DNA. We're all wired differently. And because we're all wired differently, what I might eat that is harmful, someone else might eat and it's helpful, and vice versa. Is this kind of the main premise?
So the two premise, one is a food that's good for you doesn't mean it's going to be good for your spouse or your friend or your neighbor, right?
Wow.
So just because you heard it say Peter Attia say everyone should eat broccoli, it doesn't matter. It may be good for Peter, it may not, and it's going to be good for you. Second thing is a food that's good for you today may not be good for you 6 months from now because your body is constantly changing. So things that you used to do that worked for you a year ago doesn't mean they're still good for you. They may be actually harming you. So the supplements that helped you when you were in 20s, when you get to 30s, they may actually be harming you now, right? So we actually can tell you, hey, every single day you should take 10 milligram of vitamin C. You need 89 milligram of amylase. You need 22 milligram of lycopene. You need 17 milligram of elderberry. And then we custom make with only those ingredients in that quantity for each individual for every single month. There is no pre-made capsule. There is no pre-made powder. We make it for each individual every month.
Right? And I gotta share this because I met you a little bit ago, and here's my.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Did you see this? Look at that! Look at that! Kary Oberbrunner, and it's got the date. So you literally took my. I did the Viome test, which, by the way, we're going to give one away. But I want to show people. Here's the results. I'm 47.
Yeah.
And what did you think when I sent you that picture? Like, again, this isn't your app. This is an independent app that's measuring all kinds of biometric data on me. And it says, look, we don't even know you're doing Viome, but you are 47, but you're really 38. What do you think about that?
Well, it's really amazing. In fact, my biological age, actually, I did that, not only our Viome biological age, I had a third party measure my biological age, and it came to be 33, and I'm 65.
Look it, I'm jealous. I am jealous. I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. Okay. So we have people, by the way, all over the world. You're getting requests to go to South Africa. We got this amazing person on LinkedIn. So like I said, we're on all these channels right now. But what would you say to the person who is hopeless right now?
Yeah.
They're sitting on a couch. They're saying, you know what? I don't know if I want to believe this, Naveen, because I'll tell you why. They have to take responsibility. What would you say to that person?
Well, first of all, is that we actually published the scientific studies, including placebo-controlled studies. So if you go to the American Journal of Nutrition, you can see the studies that we published that in 6 months, people who followed our diet and supplements, their IBS clinical score were down by over 47%. Their diabetes was down by 30%. Their depression was down by 49%. Their anxiety was down by 42%. And these are clinical scores that are proven. Then we did publish the studies on a placebo-controlled studies showing very similar results. 75 points reduction in IBS, 25% reduction in diabetes. So these are the randomized placebo-controlled trials. You can't do any better than that. So that's the kind of things when we say, look, it works. It is proven to work, not because I believe it works. And that's why you see that when you can improve all of the underlying root causes, what changes your body, your biological age comes down. And guess what? You won't develop the diseases that you're supposed to be developing as you age. These age related diseases that we call them, they don't have to be true. And that's the reason, Kary, the day one when we launched our company, as you was talking about this full body intelligence, look what we said. Imagine
Imagine,
a world where
ooh.
illness is optional. That is the mission we always had, and that's the mission that never changed.
Folks, I love this. I did this test. It's a sample. It's mailed to your home. You do a few different little tests here, and I'll tell you what, it was like Christmas morning. I was excited, and I followed the app. The app said your results are coming. It's being processed, and then I got these amazing supplements every month that are custom made just for me. I'll tell you what, Naveen,
Yeah,
the reason why I get passionate about this, my father had his first heart attack and only heart attack. Thankfully, he did live, but at 41, okay, 41 years old, and I want to show you a picture right here, Naveen, because this is kind of fun here. I got to geek out. You might say, Kary, why do you care about your health? Okay, I got 3 kids. I want to walk them down the aisle. But you know what? I also want to, Naveen, travel and have fun. And I want to show you here. Can you see this picture? You see
not
that
yet.
picture?
Yes, I see them. Yeah, I see it
That,
now.
that's me on the tallest paved road in the French Alps.
Right.
This summer, and why am I showing you this? Because we all have dreams. I wanted to do that dream. I want to ask people who are watching, what's your dream? If you knew you could have the optimal health, if you knew aging was optional, what's one dream that you would put on your bucket list? What do you think?
Love that question. Love that question. And other thing is I'm watching Gorky saying that, hey, they have a research that links the microbiome to cancer, which is amazing, Gorky. Please do send me an email and let me know what you're working on. But we do actually, in honor of my dad, this is the product we launched called Cancer Detect. We in
What?
fact now have FDA breakthrough device designation for accelerated approval. And basically, we are able to detect stage 1 and stage 0 cancer in your mouth and throat simply with your saliva, with 95% specificity and 90% sensitivity. Today, you guys will be surprised, Kary. The way they detect oral cancer today is your dentist rubs the finger on your gum and say, I don't feel your cancer. Think about that for a second. They feel your cancer now. This is where
What?
he's going right now, right? So when, in 21st century, when man is getting ready to land on Mars, we are detecting oral cancer by rubbing the finger on your gum. So
Oh
we
my gosh.
change everything by looking at your saliva. We look at your human gene expression. We look at your microbial gene expression, and then we are able to detect early stage cancer. And this is just the beginning. We are now doing the same thing for IBD. We're going to do the same thing for colon polyps. We're going to do the same thing for liver cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, and to be able to detect every cancer as soon as it is formed or precursor to it. For example, if we can detect colon polyps, then you will never develop a colon cancer because you can get them removed. So this is 7 to 10 years before you even develop a cancer. So this is a kind of, my hope is one day illness and aging becomes truly optional. So it won't be a matter of bad luck. It'll be truly a matter of choices we make every day.
I'll tell you what, you are blowing minds here. I want to show people a couple quick things. This book is literally just released. Barnes and Noble, folks. This is Barnes and Noble, the biggest bookstore in the world. And if you look, he's in the top 50 of all books. And this isn't a category. This is the top 50 of all books. You've already claimed the bestseller status on Barnes and Noble. I want to encourage people. Don't you think that your health is worth, $15? I mean, everyone would say that. I mean, gee, I bought a smoothie today for $9. Um, and you know what? And it was good, and it's right here. But the truth is, like, $15, man. Why should somebody buy this book?
Well, it's not about buying the book. It's really about should they take control of their own health. This is simply knowledge. So nothing in the world I cannot make someone change who they are.
Mm.
They can only have right to change themselves. And the only thing that will change them is the information and learning how to stay healthy. And there are 5 things you have to do if you want to increase your longevity and health span. That means staying healthy as long as you live. It doesn't matter. Nobody wants to live to 200 years and spend last 100 years in ICU. You
Ooh,
want
that's
to be
good.
able to stay healthy until you live. And that's the goal. So there are 5 things you must do. Number one is nutrition. There is nothing in the matters more than what you eat. Your food is actually is the ingredients that your body uses for energy and to keep itself healthy. So without, as I say, proper nutrition, nothing matters, right? So there is a Maslow's hierarchy of pyramids. The bottommost is nutrition. Unless you have the right fuel in the body, nothing actually matters. And
Mm.
here's why. Just like your Ferrari, if you can get a great Ferrari, but you don't put the right fuel in it, it's just not going to drive well. It's going to break down, right? So nutrition is number one.
Mm.
And the number two is reducing the stress. And here's why. Because if when you are stressed, your body goes into fight or flight response. And when you're
Wow.
in fight or flight response, remember what was happening when that happened. You were running away from a tiger. As we evolving, we were running away from a tiger, and only 2 things happened. Either you got eaten by a tiger and your stress went away, or you survived and your stress went away. What happens is when you are under fight or flight response, your body shuts down what it considered non-essential systems, which is what? Digestion. Don't worry about digesting your food. You're going to be lunch for someone else, right? So it shuts down your digestive system. It actually doesn't care about your immune system. It doesn't care what else is going on. It just needs to fight or flight. So
Interesting.
that's the reason when people are stressed, they get sick more often. So reducing stress is
Reducing
really
stress.
right. And that means sometimes you have to find what the root cause. If your work is stressing you out, quit your work. If your spouse is stressing you out, quit your spouse. If you're, you know, my point is,
Yeah.
and you got to do the meditation. You need to really learn to breathe. You have to find a way to do gratitude. And a lot of the culture, every time we eat, what do? We do prayer. We
Yeah.
sometimes do gratitude. Why do we do that? So when you come back from work and you are in this what we call sympathetic mode, which is fight or flight mode, to turn into the parasympathetic mode, so you are actually relaxed. So we say thank God for this, and you ask for prayers, you do gratitude, so it actually reduces your stress in your body. Number
Wow.
two
Yep.
is exercise. And again, you don't have to be a gym rat. You don't need to spend 3 or 4 hours in a gym. It is about actually moving. It's about getting just your heart rate up. Even if you can get 30 minutes to 45 minutes of fast walk, that is really, really good, right? And if you can get, as you age, if you can get 1 or 2 days of strength training, which is really just using your own body, do the push-up, do the squats, just simple things that allows to build the muscles is really necessary, because your musculoskeletal system is really necessary as you start to go. Number 4 is sleep. Sleep
Yes.
is right. And like anything else in life, the many things in life, it's the quality of sleep that matters.
Yes.
Right? It's not the quantity of sleep. So you hear people say everyone needs 8 hours of sleep. In fact, what you need is at least 1.5 to 2 hours of REM sleep, and you need at least hour to hour and a half of deep sleep.
Mm.
And some people can get that in 5 hours. More power to them. Some people need 6, some people need 7, some need 8. I generally get between 6 hours to 7 hours, and I get 2 hours of REM sleep, and I get at least hour and a half of deep sleep. And I measure my sleep many ways. I wear Aura Ring. I have an 8 sleep mattress under my in my bed. So 8 sleep mattress is constantly changing my temperature. So when I'm going on REM sleep or deep sleep, it reduces the temperature, so can I stay in the REM sleep or deep sleep. Right? I have the Withings, a sleep pad under my mattress, and we also have the Apple Watch, right? So I measure my sleep because it matters to me. I measure my activity because it matters to me, right?
Yes.
So point is, sleep is super important, but focus on the quality of sleep, not just the quantity of sleep.
I'll tell you,
Number 5.
before you jump into that, because you're on a roll, man.
Yeah.
The viewership is just growing. people are doing people are interested. Their minds are blown. You got invitations to India, South Africa, Canada. Like there are people who are literally saying, Naveen, bring Viome around the world. But keep going. Number 5. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
so, brother, anybody who wants to reach out to me, feel free to send me an email. I am naveen@viome.com. That's my personal email. You send it to me, I read every email. So that's NAVEEN@viome.com. V as in Victor, IOME.com. Send me an email if you want anything, send it over to me.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
Right. Love you all here. So just send me any questions you have.
And
Number 5,
let's hear it.
most important part, like in the Maslow's hierarchy, finding your purpose and community. The people who live a life of purpose tend to live 10 to 15 years longer than the people who have no purpose. So ask yourself, what are you willing to die for? And then live for it every single day. Find
Mm,
something that you're willing to dedicate your life to. And every day when you jump out of the bed at 4 a.m., uh, go pursue that mission. So here is the other part of it. When you wake up in the morning and you are not jumping out of the bed, then you should quit what you're doing. Right?
wow. That's so
Because
good.
once you find your purpose, there is no way you'll be lying in your bed. I get up every single day at 4 a.m. I've been doing it for the last 30 years because it's really interesting. There is so much research that shows the early morning sun rays, it actually resets your circadian rhythm. Right. So when you wake up in the morning, remember we do the sun worship, right? So you do a yoga, you do a sun worship. By doing the sun worshiping, what you're doing is getting the early morning sun rays that resets your circadian rhythm so you can actually go through the nice sleep in the night.
So you're telling me that like when people normally stretch just like this,
Yeah.
that normally that's just what they're getting.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think you're onto something, Naveen, because all the statistics prove that when a man or woman retires, what usually happens? Their
Oh,
purpose is
they
gone.
become sick. They start to get ready to die. Right.
Wow. And so you're saying that you may retire from your job, but you should never retire from your purpose.
That's right. And my point is, or your job is your purpose, right? So think about, every single time I start a company because I want to make an impact, and this becomes my life. This becomes my purpose. So the things you do every day should be your retirement, right? So the point is, it's not just about making money, it's about making money doing things that improve people's lives, right?
Well, and you have that. I heard you on an interview. By
Yeah.
the way, our team is so happy that you asked us to publish this book because it's literally changing lives. It's a brand match. But I heard you say recently that the best thing a parent can do is for their child to see them on fire.
Yeah.
And that's kind of rare, man. Today's advice is no, 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 shut down everything in your life and kind of like put the kid as the center. You're saying, look, no, a kid needs to see you on fire. In fact, your kid just recently you had two people get married, I believe.
Yep.
And one of your kids is a billionaire.
Well, guess what? He's changing billions of people's lives. That's how you making money is simply a byproduct of doing things that improve people's lives. So if you go out there and improve 1 billion people's life, you can create $100 billion company. But you don't wake up in the morning and say, what should I do to make $100 billion, right? It's like having an orgasm. If you focus on it, you're never going to get it. You just have to learn to enjoy the process.
Mic drop, man. You're dropping all kinds of. All right, so we're gonna give people just a couple more rounds of the ability to tag somebody, share it. I'm getting a ton of value from this. What do you hope happens? Let's say we're chatting a year from now, and we're saying, you know what, this book was incredible. I'm sure you'll be having another book. In fact, we won't talk about that now. But what are you gonna measure as success?
Well, the success, to me is simply measured by number of lives you improve. So your success is never measured by how much money you have in the bank. Your success is simply measured by how many lives you improve. And that's the key to success. So I'll measure my success in a year from now, how many people's lives I was able to make better. And that is how you and I both should be defining our success. So I think, are you buying the ebook for everyone, Kary, if they send you an email? Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah.
So why
So
don't you
here's
have everyone here listening to me? Here you get Kary to buy your free ebook. Put your email up there in the comment section. Let Kary buy you a free ebook. Don't buy it yourself. Let him buy it for you.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I will do that. I will do that. If you're here live and you pop in your email address, I will get you one. And here's what I also want to share. You and your team were super generous, and you have this offer that if anybody buys a physical book,
Yes.
you're going to give them this course. And I've heard that this course is so good that Mind Valley picked it up. What is this course?
Well, this is probably the one of the best thing I did in terms of giving back. This is a whole 7-day course, and this is really was the everything that we learned. And so it's just not me. This is Dr. Antoine. This is really some of the top people in the company. We all put together a course that tells you exactly how to know what's happening in your body, what are the things you need to do to stay healthy. And there's a look every day. This is a 25-minute course. Here are all the authors that actually came together to give you all the knowledge, and this is completely free to you. There is no cost to it.
Oh my
This is the stuff that normally at Mind Valley you have to pay $500 just to join Mind Valley to actually sign up for this, right? This course is going to be free to you. So if you buy a paperback or hardcover, you go ahead and
Yes, I
let
put the
someone
link.
know.
I put the link right in. Right in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Kary, and you going to let them know how they're going to get the free course, right?
Absolutely. It's right here. It's popped up. Folks, in the comments, just literally, we're going to post it again and again. But you literally just buy the book, paperback or hardcover, and you simply fill out the form, and then boom, they get the course free, the gut health course. I've heard that the gut is
Hmm?
the second brain. I think most of us have heard that today. What does that mean? Like, where does that come from? What does that mean?
First of all, this is a misnomer. If you look at technically, your gut is your first brain. So if you go back through the evolution, our brain didn't evolve in the early organism. All they had was a mouth and the digestive tract and the other side to throw out the stuff, right? So if you look at technically the neurons, all the neurons were actually in your gut. So today, the reason they call it a second brain is it has the second largest number of neurons in the body. So your brain has the neurons and your gut has neurons. In fact, your gut and brain are connected through what you call vagus nerve or a gut-brain axis. So interestingly, we have now proven that when people have a poor gut, you start to have issues like depression. So when you fix the nutrition, your depression goes away, your addiction goes away, your anxiety and OCD and many of the diseases which are considered the brain diseases are actually gut diseases. The
Wow.
second part is also correct. When you have stress, it actually causes you to have gut issues. So there was a very recent research that shows when we are stressed, our brain releases, the pituitary gland releases something called neurocorticoid, that's cortisol. And that changes how in our body, the digestive tract, the production of mucin, that is actually now shown to cause IBS and IBD, right?
Mm.
So it's really is there's a bidirectional mechanism where 9 signal go from gut to the brain and for every one signal that's coming from brain to the gut.
Wow. Listen, I wish some of us could have Naveen in our pocket. And here I got an offer for everybody. You know about this, Naveen. When we chatted as a team, we said, you know what? What if we had something really, really, really big? So yeah, we're gonna give away the free intelligence test. But you said, look, if somebody really gets behind you and this book and really wants to change lives. So we're at the youthformula.com, everybody. You can listen to the audio book right here, a little sample of it. You can get some bonuses right here. But you did this thing where, look, if you buy 6 books, you're going to get half off the intelligence test. Or if they buy a dozen, I mean, come on now, folks, Christmas time, holidays, they're all coming up here. A dozen books. You know you got to buy your friends and your family a gift anyway. Get 12 books and save a little kit for yourself. That's pretty slick. But then you also have this thing where, oh my gosh, is this for real? People can literally go to your resort, your place. I don't even know what this thing is. What does this all mean right here?
Oh God, I don't know who decided that, but since you, but anyway, this is our home up in the British Virgin Islands. I hate talking about it, so I'm going to probably just say, hey guys, if you do end up coming in, you'll be my guest and at my home in the British Virgin Islands, and I'll be there.
Oh,
I'll be there with
wow.
you.
I love it. We're putting the link right in right now because look, this is like
Oh my.
Naveen Santa Claus
And
here.
by the way, only the sane people should buy them because I don't want any type of person who's just not sane to be coming and staying with me.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So listen, I mean, look, some of you really have access to a few thousand people, meaning like companies, you might know an organization, you might know a church. But if you're serious about this, look, you buy 3,000 copies, you're going to get a 2-night stay in a 1-bedroom suite at Naveen's private resort. That's pretty slick, my
Well,
friend. I
this
mean,
is a private island up in the British Virgin Islands. It's Richard Branson and I own the island together, and this is right across. And if you do see that right across, there is Naka right across it here.
oh man. So listen, folks, dream big. And some of you are saying, you know what? I needed something like
And
this.
by the way, Kary, this is for physical copy of the books, not ebook, right?
Correct, correct. Physical copies, and it's got a few things that talk about the dates. But yeah, check it out, folks. And again, we wanted to go big because Naveen's going big. Elon wants to put a man on Mars. You want to put people on the planet and keep them there for a long time. And I love what you said, though. It's not just about how long you live. Nobody wants to live to 200 and, like you said, spend the last 100 in the ICU. Why is that important?
Well, again, the thing is, it's about health span. It's not about simply the lifespan. Because people, I just say nobody wants to live a life when they are burdened on society and burdened on their family. If you can't poop yourself and you can't eat and you have a tube going through your thing, I mean, is that the life anybody wants to live and say, oh my God, I want to live to be 500, just keep put the tube in my mouth.
No way, man.
That's my point. So the
Yeah.
thing is that we focus on is really, as Susan says, die young at an old age, really old age, right? But we
Ooh,
want
that's
to be
Susan.
able
That's
to,
good. That's good.
yeah. So to me, it's all about able to do the things that you love doing until the day you die. So,
Mm,
I would say I would rather die on the top of the Mount Everest because I was able to climb Mount Everest on the day I died.
yes. But you know what? You're right. I mean, when I was in the French Alps this
Yeah,
summer, I saw people
yeah,
that were 20 years, 30 years older than me.
yeah.
And yet I know people 20 years younger than me who can't even climb a flight of stairs.
Yes. And that's really is what really worries me is that we are living in a society where, all around the world is becoming a pandemic where 50% of the children are obese. I mean, think about it. They're developing early diabetes they are pre-diabetic by the time they turn 20, which is mind-boggling to me that we have this, pandemic of these chronic diseases, and we are losing some of the great souls to early colon cancer when the people are in their 30s and 40s. I mean, who would have ever thought that was going to happen? So I really think we have to start changing it. We have to start thinking that it's our lifestyle. So it's about the nutrition, it's about the stress, it's about the exercise, it's about sleep, it's about finding your purpose. But nutrition is the number one thing that matters. This is the key to everything else because you got to be able to feed your body if you want it to work. Think about it. If this is your racehorse, if you had $1 million racehorse, what would you do with it? You will feed it the best thing you can. You are that $1 million horse. Take care of yourself.
Oh, wow, wow. There's this quote that your team said the other day. I've only heard it 12 months ago. I'm sure you've been hearing it for years, but maybe some people have never heard it. But it's the one that Confucius said about the sick man and the healthy
Yes,
man. Remember this?
yes, I sure do.
Can you share that? Because I feel like that is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it basically says, people who are healthy have many wishes, and people who are sick only have one wish, right? So think about it for a second. When you're sick, all you care about is just make me healthy, make me get out of that. And people who are healthy, they have lots and lots of dreams. So if you want to have lots and lots of dreams, stay healthy, because it's not just about, you said you want to walk your kids down the aisle. This is just one of the dreams. You want to have
Just
you
one.
want to play with your grandchildren. You want to be able to take your grandchildren to the Alps, and you want to be able
Yeah.
to
That's right. That's right. And listen, we just crossed the 3-digit. We're over 100 on one channel. This thing's going out on many, many channels. Many people will watch the replay. So the fact that you're here live, folks, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to be giving away the $399 intelligence test, where you literally get the kit mailed to you. You do a few samples, and then literally it goes off. What, and before we say this, I want to hear about what happens when we send the kit out. But I want to challenge anybody. If you want to be entered free, no purchase necessary, you need to post below your where you're from. We just want to know, like, I don't know, not your zip code, but just tell me a little bit where you're from, and then say shared. And if you say shared, that means that you shared the live stream. Why? Because you're changing lives. And then you'll be entered to win. And Tanisha, you're literally going to pick somebody here before we go, and you're going to get their address, and we're going to mail it to them. So what happens after I do the Viome test?
But before you do that, I want everyone to take advantage of something, Kary. I want Kary to pay for it. Since he wants an hour of my time, let's make him pay for it. Get everyone to buy an ebook for you. So put your email up there and let him buy the damn book for you, right? So I want Kary to do something here for us.
You do it. And Tanisha, you be collecting those. And by the way that it works on Amazon, I can send them to US only. So if you're out of the US, I apologize, but that's what Amazon's rules
Come
are.
on, Kary. Come on. You should be able to get
Hey,
the
listen.
ebook everywhere.
Listen, I will try. Put in your email, and we'll make it happen. And then I'm going to challenge the audience right back, and I'm going to say, look, come on, folks, 12 books, paperback or hardcover. Look, I did this test. It's amazing. You saw my score. 12 books, you know what?
You get basically you're getting them for free, because the full body intelligence test, full body intelligence is $399. You actually are simply paying for the test and getting the books.
That is true.
And you're getting the books, you buy the books, you get a test.
That is true. You are getting it probably even cheaper. So yeah, everybody, you got, I mean, come on, 12 books, bless 12 people. You got your Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, college gifts taken care of. And then you get to keep the test and get your results back. I got my results back, and it was literally life shattering, because for years we buy the lie that, oh, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. And really the test says, no, Kary, you can eat certain things. So it's kind of freeing.
Yep. It basically tells you, it takes the guesswork out of what's right for you to do. It takes the guesswork out. Is the food good for you or bad for you? And it really tells you why. The most important part is we just don't tell you, we tell you exactly why. So here is why the ajuki beans are good for you, or here is why the pinto beans are bad for you.
Wow. Right. So what happens? I mean, you used AI. You started blowing my mind when you said how much AI tests you compared it with, but give people a little bit of that.
So basically, we have now analyzed close to 1 million samples. We have now analyzed over 100 quadrillion biological data points. And when we, normally when you do a blood test, at a Quest lab, you get 30, 40, 50 things out of it. We do 30 million markers, the 30 million transcripts that we read for you from every sample, from your saliva, from your stool, from your blood. And we actually analyze all of them. And then we look through every single thing that every person we have analyzed. And now we use AI to be able to say, this is what is going on in your body. So this is what you need to do to stay healthy. And that's the fundamental thing, is we use massive amount of data and the cutting edge AI to be able to tell you exactly what is going on and what you can do to stay healthy.
And listen, I'm right now here in my app. Everybody can see I'm not making this up. Good afternoon, Kary. Good scores, average scores, and not optimal scores. So do you think everybody has something?
Of course. I mean, yes. And the problem we have is we say, oh, I feel good. I don't have any symptoms, so I must be healthy. By the time you get the symptoms, it's already too late. That means something has been going on in your body for 5, 10 years. When you become diabetic, it's not you wake up in the morning and say, you know what, Kary, I was hanging out with the boys last night. I think I might have caught diabetes. You don't catch diabetes. You don't catch obesity.
Wow.
You don't catch depression. These things happen over a long period of time.
Mm,
It takes 10 years before you even see the symptom, but you got a high fasting insulin. Then you got high fasting glucose before you become diabetic.
I love that.
Parkinson's starts in the gut 15 to 20 years before you
No
actually see
way.
the symptom. Yeah.
Wow.
So in fact, by the way, go ahead and Google Parkinson's and microbiome, and you will see that Parkinson's starts in the gut 15 years before you see the first symptom of Parkinson's.
You know, our buddy Peter Diamandis, he talks about don't die from something stupid.
Yes.
In other words, you know, we're all gonna die probably. But the point is that there's some disease that can be preventable.
Yep.
And, you know, I love this app because it's telling me what my scores are, and you can see I
Yep.
need to improve. But then it says see the short video.
Yep.
So what's, you know, again, I think
It
there's
explains everything about how did we come to that score. So, point is, unlike everything, people say, here's your LDL. How the hell did you know what my LDL is, right? So we tell you exactly what did we do to measure everything we did. And when we tell you that eat this or don't eat this, click on that food. We tell you exactly why we are telling you not to do this or to do this. Everything is explained clearly why. There is no black box. Well, we can't tell you that. We're just telling you to eat broccoli. Well, we tell you, if we're going to tell you to eat broccoli, here's why. And what's really surprising, Kary, was I was just going through the data. 50% of the people are benefit from broccoli, and 50% people, in fact, are
Are
harmed
you
by broccoli.
serious?
Seriously. 35% of the people are harmed by spinach, despite Popeye telling you that spinach is good for everyone, right? Popeye was not a scientist, right? So we look at the real science.
Wow, wow. All right. Somebody just bought 12. Travis bought 12 copies. He's going to be getting the test. Smart man out of Texas. You know, let's do that challenge. If you order 12 copies, go ahead and post. And again, you might think 12. Well, gee, that's a couple $100. Well, I don't even know what 12 bucks is. Right now on Amazon, they're really cheap for paperback or hardcover. But here's what the truth is, Naveen.
Yeah. But the 12 books at $15 a piece, you're looking at $180, and the test is $399. So you're getting a test half off just by buying books.
Oh my gosh, and you're blessing 12 people's lives. Which site should I order from? You can order from any site. Just Gorky, just you got to upload your receipt. So go to theyouthformula.com, theyouthformula.com.
Just go to Amazon and buy it. Just go from Amazon and buy it from Amazon.
Buy them there, but then redeem it at theyouthformula.com. Absolutely. And here's what I know. If you think healthy is expensive, wait till you see sick.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, that's really good, because most people think that, hey, I'm spending $100 a month and buying all these things, keeping myself healthy. Imagine when you're sick, you'll be spending thousands of dollars and actually be suffering every day.
It's true. You're so right. You started naming things. I got my ring. I got my Garmin watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally have my health seriously, because here's what I know. My mission is so big, igniting souls. I have such a big mission that if I'm not healthy and I'm tired and I'm burnt out, like, I can't fulfill my mission.
Agreed. I mean, that's the thing, is that, health is your wealth. I mean, think about it. Without the health, there is nothing you can do. You can have all the dreams. I mean, hate to say it, Steve Jobs, one of the brilliant men in humanity, lost. Imagine how much innovation would have come out of that man.
Even just 5 more years. Like, what did he die? 2012, I forget. But yeah, like, he has the most valuable company in the world right now, but he doesn't have it because he's gone.
And more than that, imagine it's not just he's gone. Amount of innovation that would have come out of that man if he were just healthy. What would he have given up? I mean, what's the purpose of having $8 billion or $10 billion or $100 billion if you can't even keep yourself healthy? You can't eat food when you're dying.
Wow.
Right? And that is the thing, is health is your wealth. when we are young, we sacrifice our health to generate wealth. And when we get old, we sacrifice our wealth to get our health back. I mean, what a shit.
Gee, this is good. Okay, so Tanisha, pick the winner. You pick the winner, and we're going to give away the full intelligence body scan. We're going to challenge people to get at least a dozen. I will buy an ebook for everybody who puts their email in. Tanisha's going to have to go back after this and grab their emails, and I'll be shooting out emails all day here. But listen, we believe in you, Naveen. Thank you for doing this. This is like a gift to humanity. Oh, here's our winner. Here's our winner. So the winner is Susan Zartman. The one who mentioned that one quote
Yeah.
a little while ago. So she's going to be getting that mailed to her, the kit. Awesome. And Naveen, I'm going to give you the last 5 minutes. I think the audiobook's dropping Friday. So if
Yes.
anybody says, oh my gosh, where is it on audiobook? I would encourage them to get every version. When I love a book, I get the ebook so I can sit at the grocery store when I'm in line and read the book. I get the audio so when I'm driving, and then I get the paperback or the hardcover. Why should people get multiple copies, and how do you want to end this show here?
Honestly, to me, it's not about getting multiple copies. Get the version that you're going to use. It's about
Mhm.
not buying it. It's about using it and listening to it or
That's
reading it, right?
wise.
So if
See, you always got that angle on me today.
right.
That's
No,
good.
I'm saying like, see, I read 4 books a month, minimum 4 to 5 books a month. I listen to them. I buy audiobook every time I'm walking. I walk hour and a half every day, and I buy audiobook, and that's what I do. And I love listening to it. There are people who just love reading hardcover copy, and they should go get that. Or people who want to read on Kindle, they should get a Kindle copy. But these,
Whatever the version. I
whatever the
love
version you're going to use, get that. And I really want you to listen to it, because I can't change anything. My telling you is not going to make any difference until you believe in it. And the
it.
only way for you to believe in it is to get all the information that you need. Audiobook is going to come out on Friday. So
Mm.
if you want an audiobook, wait until Friday and you will still get the same benefits. Are you giving the same benefits on an audiobook, all the
Yeah,
things, only for print?
we're given the benefit of the gut course. So, folks, if you buy the audio
Yeah.
or the paperback or hardcover, you simply go to that link that we'll drop in one more time, and you get the gut course. And like you said, this is worth a couple $100 right here. That's incredible.
And so to me, Kary, is my last words would be that just dream so big that people think you're crazy. Never let go of your dreams. Never let go of, don't let someone tell you that you can't do something, right? Don't let anyone bring you down. You need to surround yourself with people who uplift you. Get rid of every cockroach in your life who's pulling you down every time. You do not want negativity in your life. If people are negative around you, get rid of them. You want to surround yourself people who are positive, who believe in you, who uplift you, and surround yourself people who believe in health, because the minute you start to surround yourself people who are healthy, you yourself become healthy. You become an average of the 5, 10 people that you surround yourself with, right?
Correct.
So my advice to will be, go find 10 people, your friends, give them the gift of the book, give them the gift of understanding how your gut actually is the key to your overall health. What happens in the gut doesn't stay in the gut. Your gut is not like your Vegas. What happens there doesn't stay there, right? In your gut goes everywhere, right?
Wow. Wow. All right, my friend. Well, listen, you got people from Singapore to Dubai, West Africa, UK. It's amazing. So, Naveen, thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for Viome. And spread the word, folks, especially this week. But let's start a revolution. All right.
Thank you, brother. Talk to you soon. Everyone, by the way, if you have any question, email it to me. And I love you all. And I hope you all stay healthy and we can talk again in the next 100 years.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks, Naveen.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.